Don, Lars Rydell, undeniably the hero of the World Championships in terms of the discus. I know with respect to the discus in Olympic competition, the man that everybody talks about, in fact, Bud Greenspan, who does those famous documentaries for the United States, and a number of officials were trying to choose the athlete of the century back in 1996, and they talked a lot about Al Oerter. I'm not sure if he made one or two, but Carl Lewis, Jesse Owens were all in the running for that award. But Oerter's name always came up, a four-time discus gold medalist in Olympic competition, and we had a chance to sit down with Al on Sunday. Another real treat for us, Al Oerter, four-time Olympic discus champion, and Jason Tunks is a young man from Canada who's got designs on getting to the podium at this year's meet. Al, he could take inspiration from, well, you know, I just keep reading and hearing and have been told that the media kept telling you were never the favorite going in for your gold medals. Did you feel that way?
I was never the favorite. I never won the U.S. Olympic trials. I was second or third. They only take three to the games. I was always competing against one or two world record holders that had achieved that record between the games, and never really did anything prior to the games. But I always pointed for the games. I worked through the national championships, worked through Olympic trials, and was always at my best in the games. I knew I would be okay. That doesn't mean medal, but I knew that I would be at least at my best during the games itself. That
seems to be, you know, you hear so often you can't turn it on and off. So, I mean, what in you gave you that sort of great self-awareness that, okay, I'm only at this stage now, but not to worry?
Yeah, it may sound simplistic, but I absolutely enjoyed being on the floor of an Olympic stadium. I mean, once I hit the lawn, once I walked onto the floor of the stadium and this was the Olympic final, I just came alive. I just wanted to be in that place and no other place on earth. It never was a fearful environment. I was never intimidated by good competitors or world record holders. I never felt uncomfortable in any way. I never allowed people to play mental games with me. I didn't play mental games with anybody else. And it was an environment that was so refreshing, so wonderful for me. And given that environment, you do well in good competition.
Well, it can work two ways after you win the first time, but let's ask you about the first time, because that's a tricky one in and of itself. And you say you felt no nervous tension or no intimidation?
No. Oh, you're nervous, obviously. I mean, you can't be without a certain sense of what is this competition going to be like. But it was a thrill. I mean, here you are competing with the people in the world who have chosen to do exactly what you've chosen to do and are the best in their countries. And here they all are gathered, and they're going to test their skills and all of their training against one another in one grand, glorious environment, the Olympic Games. You know, what better time to be at your best?
Yeah, it's neat to have something in common. But how did you choose discus?
It was kind of chosen for me in a very strange way. I was a sprinter, kept growing, tough to get all of that bulk out of the blocks. And I decided, since I used to run back and forth to school, I decided to become a miler, but that was just too dadgum much work. And one day, honest story, a discus skipped onto the track. It was in my way, so I picked it up and I threw it back. And I threw it further to him than he threw it to me. And Coach walked over to me and said, "Forget the mile, kid. You know, start throwing."
That's amazing. So did you stay with that coach, or did you end up getting pointed to somebody that...
No, I stayed with that coach. He knew absolutely nothing about discus throwing. The man was about 400 pounds. Oh. And to watch him turn was an act of defiance of gravity, right? But this was a high school coach, and he taught me something very important at the right age, that you don't get something for nothing on this earth. You want to work, I'm going to be here with you. Even if you don't want to work that hard, I'll still be with you, but maybe we won't work as hard. So that kind of lesson for a kid who's just started in something, okay, almost anything, okay, is absolutely perfect.
How about folks love to know what you're up to now?
Well, right now, I retired from the computer field. I was in the computer field for about 30 years. And I was a director of an eclectic group of talents. I understood about 15% of what they were talking about, so I decided that perhaps this was not the right thing to continue in. And I left and started a second career as a speaker, and have been doing that for 20 some odd years. And my latest interest is I'm trying to become an abstract expressionist.
Wow.
You know, I'm trying to paint. So,
see the movie Pollock?
Oh yeah, he's one of my heroes. You know?